uh, you just try with few more examples also. Okay, next let us move on to the mathematical functions. So there are 7 or more mathematical operations, but here I will illustrate only 7 mathematical functions. In that list of functions, the first 6, that means sum, product, power, sqrt, quotient, mode, these are 6 common functions that you guys are very familiar with. So sum for adding the numbers which we supplied as an argument in the sum function, product is for multiplication, power is for finding out the power of a particular number, sqrt is to find out the square root of a particular number, quotient, since the excel doesn't have a function like division or divide, to find out the quotient of a division operation you have to use quotient as function, and if you want to filter out any remainder of a division operation, then you have to use mode operation or mode function. So please remember that there is no such function named division or divide in MS Excel. We only have quotient to find out the quotient of a division operation, and mode for filtering the or for finding out the remainder of a division operation. So here also I already illustrated with an examples on these functions also. The first one is sum. So here you can see a list of profit values. So I just calculated the sum of all the profit values. So as you can see that the function that I wrote in formula bar itself equals sum of bracket, within the bracket you should pass a range of values. So it starts from O10 to O20. So it will calculate the total of values starting from O10 to O20, and here is the result. The next one is product. Product is the multiplication of numbers. So here also I passed 2 arguments to find out the multiplication, and the arguments are O10 and sorry, it passed with the not included value, so I am just recorrecting the value, this one. Okay, yeah, so it will calculate the multiplication of O10 and O11. So here is the result. Then what is power? Power is the raised to, right? A number raised to another number. So here also I find out the 2 to the power of 5. So it means 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. That is equal to 32, right? So equals power of 2 means the number. First argument should be the number, and the second argument is how many times you have to find out the power of particular number. So you have to pass that power. So power of the number comma the times of the number of time it should be multiplied with. So hence we found out the power function also. Yeah. The next is square root. Since you can see the result as 11, so you already found out that which will be the argument that I passed on, right? So I passed 121 as the argument in the sqrt function. So it will ask for single argument, just you have to pass the number only. So sqrt of 121, it will find out the square root of 121, and which is 11. The next one is quotient. It will perform the division operation and will give the quotient as result. So I found the 10 divided by 2. So it's naturally or it is obvious that the result should be 5. So it displayed 5 as the result. And mode means to filter the remainder of the division operation. Since 10 and 2 is completely divisible, the remainder will be 0, right? So mod of 10 comma 2, it result 0 as the output. The next one is subtotal. So what is a subtotal? Subtotal performs a specified calculation like sum, product, average, etc. for a supplied set of values. So here you can see a list of profit values. So in this value also I can find out the subtotal. But there is some arguments in subtotal. We will discuss it now itself. So as you can see that subtotal has the arguments like function num as first argument. So these are the function numbers which is provided by subtotal. First, 1 is for average, 2 is for count. You have to specify the number. You have to specify, if you want to find out the sum of a particular cell range, then you have to put 9 here, since 9 results the sum. So we can perform these functions on subtotal. Okay, so you have to pass function num as argument. The next argument is ref1 and the next one is ref2 and so on. So you have to pass the ref1. So here I am going to pass reference values from O10 to O20. So the subtotal function will perform sum of these values. So it performed the sum of the range value that I supplied as the argument from O10 to O20. But this is not a real case, right? So let us see the illustration of subtotal with a real-time example. So I am going to another record which comprises with 100 records of sales over different region. And I filtered also. Here you can see that Asia, Australia, America, Europe, Middle East, North America, Africa. So these are the regions and their total profit also here. So sometimes we might not have to find out this total profit of all the regions. We might have to find out the total profit of Europe only. So we have to filter this huge table into Europe only, right? So I selected the whole table and just clicked on, from home tab you will have a sort and filter button or a sort and filter icon. From here I just clicked on filter. Okay, so now the table is the huge data table is filtered. Now I can just click on this icon and you can filter in whatever manner you want. I unselect all and I just need Europe only. So I selected the Europe and then clicked OK. So here we have the Europe details only. And now we can perform subtotal on this total profit of Europe only. So here also I am performing equals subtotal of, so function num as I just want to see the average, okay, average of total profit of Europe. So I pass 1 as argument, comma, and my reference starts from N4, N17, and as you know that it is not in order, right? You can see the raw numbers here, 4, 17, 22, 23, 26, 27 and so on. So you have to perform a subtotal of a particular range of values which is not in order. So at that time you can use subtotal. So I just clicked enter and here is the average of total profit of Europe only. So we will use the function subtotal to find out hidden or unhidden information. Here we found out the subtotal of the total profit of Europe only. So in this manner you can find out North America's total profit also, or the subtotal. So here also I am passing equals subtotal of, now I just want to find out the sum. Okay, so 9 comma total profit, total cost. So this is the real case actually. So we will have a huge table and we have to filter it, and we have to find out or we have to perform some functions like average, sum, max, count, or any functions on that filtered data only. So at that time we can use subtotal function. So this is how we perform the subtotal. So this comes to the end of two list or two categories of mathematical functions. The first one is numeric function, the second one is mathematical function. The remaining functions we will learn later in the upcoming videos. So to consolidate this video, numeric function we have learned the absolute, sine, GCD, LCM as numeric mathematical functions, and how to perform that, and what all are the errors that will happen when we pass a wrong or a incorrect argument. And then we have learned on mathematical functions: sum, product, power, square root, quotient, mod, subtotal. The difference, the odd man out was subtotal, which we already discussed in detail with a real time scenario. So with 100 or a huge record of data table, we might have to find out a filtered data. We might have to perform some functions on a filtered data